position ourselves so that we can be in our divinity, so we can have our crowns right, how we can create and not build, when some of us, quite frankly, feel that the men that are available to us, and I'm talking about across the color spectrum, across the age spectrum, trust me, I've done them all, they are not positioned to protect nor provide because of some of the statistics we just talked about. They're not earning the incomes, they're not having the resources, and some of them are not even showing up in the leadership.
Would you date a bus driver? Would you date
if he owns the bus?
There's this trend going on amongst black women who want to have it all. They want to have the job. They want to have the career. They want to have the family, and they want to have the marriage. But unfortunately, because they've done things outside of the biblical standard, outside of the biblical order, they're not having the marriages and the families that they want. So instead of returning to the way God has ordained for things to occur, instead of turning to the way things have been done in the past, these modern women have taken it upon themselves to circumvent the process. They decide to have children on their own without a man. The latest example, Eboni K. the Real Housewife star, who said that she would not date a bus driver unless he owned the bus. So she has this article coming out in People magazine detailing her pregnancy journey, while she's proud to be a single mom by choice. It is not the shame-ridden narrative that it used to be. The Real Housewives of New York City star tells People. There she is, pregnant. She's part of a generation of women redefining what it means to be a single mother. Really? Redefining what it means to be a single mother. Who in their right mind would want to be a single mother? Oh, I know. People that are selfish, people that are narcissistic, people that are so engulfed with themselves. You know, the Bible talks about those people, the lovers of selves, those kind of people. I've wanted to pursue the single motherhood by choice journey for the past 2 years. And I'm so blessed to be... She is one of these people that see all the blessings, as they call them, from God. God is not involved in your mess, okay? Just like Fannie Willis was trying to get approval from pastors and saying that God was ordering her steps and protecting her. God is nowhere in this mess. You are doing things outside of the will of God, but yet you say God has blessed you. I'm also not deaf to how extraordinary stigmatized it still is. My mother Gloria raised me all by myself. And see, that's the problem. You have a pattern, and this pattern is continuing. And did so in an era and at a time where being a single mother in this country, especially a black single mother, was one of the most disgraceful things you could do. And in the span of a generation, that shifted to where women like me are not just embracing it, but also choosing it. No, that shows the selfishness that you are possessing. That shows that you are so into this feminist mind state that you think you can get everything that you want. See, that's what we've done here in America. See, we've changed the biblical order around to where now women think they can have it all, that they don't even need a man, to the point to where they can use IVF to impregnate themselves and then raise the baby on their own. See, that's what, when you disrupt the biblical order, when you remove yourself, when you remove the biblical worldview and you do things your own way, this is what you get. You get the natural degradation of society. It goes from the nuclear family, the husband, the wife, and the children. Now it goes to just the woman on her own, subsidized by the government, to now women who are impregnating themselves and leaving the man all out in the cold. It is a rejection of marriage, rejection of masculinity. This is telling men, we don't even need you. We don't even need you. You hear that? You hear that message that she's sending to young girls? You don't need a man. You can do everything you want without a man. All that does is tear down the society. It tears down the black community. It does nothing to elevate the black community. And I bet you will not hear any black pastor say anything negative about this. As a matter of fact, they'll probably elevate Eboni K. for this. It's not the shame-ridden narrative that it used to be. That's steeped in poverty. That's steeped in scarcity. That's steeped in rejection. That's steeped in all these heartbreaking, sad trauma points, Williams continues. That is not this story. These innocent little babies are so desperately and lovingly wanted that they have mothers who invested exorbitant resources by way of money, by way of time, by way of what we put our bodies through, etc., to bring them to this earth and to shower them with all the things that sweet babies deserve. That's love. No, that's not. That's not love. That's selfishness. Because you don't know. Do you know the statistics? I don't care how much money you got. That baby will still want to know who her father is. I don't care what modern philosophy has been pushed. I don't care what modern philosophy has said. There is no substitute for a mother and a father in union bringing forth children. There's no substitute for that. Anything else is outside of the will of God. Anything else is on the path to destruction. See, Eboni K. Williams thinks she knows better than God. She's one of these, like I said, narcissistic, self-indulged black woman who, because she could not find a man, because she's at the age where no man really wants her, and she still wants to have a child, she does it on her own. As very proud and conscious black woman, I think she meant to say, as a very proud and conscious black woman, it was very important to pursue a sperm donor who shared my cultural and racial identity. Wow. Her conception will never be a secret. She's going to know from the moment she has any awareness that she was lovingly, beautifully, and perfectly conceived through a very generous man's donation of the missing genetic piece. Wow. Wow. Look at that. Like I've been saying over and over and over again on this channel, what women are saying, this is the Black Lives Matter movement. This is what they wanted to do to break up the prescribed Western hierarchy, the patriarchy. They wanted to break that up. They wanted to destroy that. She's playing right into that. The only thing she needed a man for would to be a sperm donor. This dude's not gonna be a father. He's just a sperm donor. That's her plan. Selfishness. This is all about her. She's not doing this for that child. This is all about her needs, her lacking in life. That's what this is about. Even when she went through the process of freezing her eggs, Williams didn't have a surefire plan of what was next. I was really thinking, I will never use them whether I got married again or didn't. She shares. It was the pandemic and having some real existential conversations within my own self about legacy and life and love and the different ways in which I really wanted to explore family. During that exploration, Williams said it finally clicked to her that she didn't have to pigeonhole herself into the boundaries of a traditional motherhood. She didn't have to pigeonhole herself. Go ahead, boss woman, boss chick, do your thing. You can have the cake and eat it too. I really freed myself of the rigidness of what legacy, love, and family could look like. Nah, it's because you couldn't find a man or a man couldn't find you, because the Bible says when a man finds a wife, he finds a good thing. You weren't wife material, so therefore a man didn't find you, a godly man, a biblical man, so therefore you took it upon yourself to accomplish those things that you wanted. This kind of tells me why you are single. Those are the 3 pillars I reassessed. And it helped shake me from this idea of, I have to have it this way on this timeline everyone else is following. I had realized the aspect of the American dream for myself, and I felt like I could really provide for a child in a way that feels stable and safe and secure. No, you can't. A child does not need to be brought up in a single household intentionally. Studies have proven over and over and over again, a child thrives when there's a 2-parent mother and father household. It just started getting crystallized for me that I was not only going to be all right just in my own individual state, but also that God was blessing me. Here we go with this new age God kind of philosophy. God is blessing me. God is blessing me. I'm doing my own thing and God is blessing my own thing. Not that you prayed about it and God gave you the insight and the wisdom to do this and the direction to do this. You were led by the Spirit of God to do this. No, I'm doing my own thing and God is going to bless it because it is good. God was blessing me with a tremendous abundance of love and resources. So I felt compelled to share this forward to the next generation, not just through mentorship, but through creating my own progeny, doing it my own self, being my own boss, and cementing my own legacy. Everything's about her in this very unique way that only motherhood could offer. If this is not the most self-absorbed, narcissistic person that I've heard, but she's not the only one that feels this way.
ABC 7's Jasmine Miner reports on how some women are making the decision to be single moms by choice.
Mommy. She was Ashley Hunt's dream, a daughter that won't let go.
I found navigating and trying to conquer infertility more intimidating than I found trying to become a single mom by choice.
Her choice is rewriting the stereotype of what it means to be a single Black mom.
welfare queen, promiscuous, million kids with multiple baby daddies and uneducated, just all the negative crap that goes along with it. Whether by chance or by choice, there's nothing to be ashamed of in being a single Black mom.
Stable, secure, and steadfast. Hunt's journey to motherhood meant a wipe clean, dozens of needles in the car, airport bathrooms, hotels, and $60,000.
I did 4 cycles driving back and forth.
She's part of a growing trend of women determined to become moms through assisted reproductive technology.
Despite how challenging it is, it just feels euphoric.
In fact, between 2016 and 2022, according to the CDC, Black women using assisted reproductive technology, including IVF, more than doubled nationally and grew 33% in Cook County alone.
We need to all embrace it. We deserve joy. We deserve to have that good story.
That's one of the reasons why
Boy, these women are so self-absorbed. That's what feminism does. See, feminism is anti-God. Feminism is anti-marriage. Feminism is anti-family. And it's especially anti-man. They are showing you right then and there, Black man, they are squeezing you out the picture.
Amanda Ellier is opening a new fertility clinic on Wacker Drive.
From the reception, there's going to be really 2 different options. You could go to the clinical side over there or to the procedure side.
Dr. Ellier is just one of 4 Black reproductive endocrinologists in Chicago. And she's reminding women, even if you're building a family on your own, you're not alone.
It's right by the L. It's close to the expressways. It's like, come one, come all. I hope that they walk.
Come one, come all. We're a village. We are a Marxist communist village. You don't need the traditional Western prescribed patriarchy. You don't need a man. You got a village. We're here to help you. We're the government and we're here to help you.
The doors knowing I'm going to do the very best that I can for them.
So those like Hunt can fearlessly fill a once empty home with giggles that come from the greatest gift.
It was for you. It was for you. I would do it all over again if it gave me her.
Dr. Ellier says she will open the CCRM Fertility Clinic in the Loop in 2025. And she says that Black women using assisted reproductive technologies were 3 times more likely to have structural causes for infertility, such as uterine issues. And she says that's why it's so important everyone has a supportive space for fertility treatments.
Because you're doing things outside of the will of God. Whenever man does things outside of the will of God, outside of the guardrails that God has set up, you're going to set yourself up for destruction. You're going to set yourself up for the ramifications of disobedience. That's just the way it is. It's not God judging you. It's you operating outside of his prescribed way of doing things. So therefore, you're bringing that upon yourself.
I had an aching to be a mother. I had a longing to be a mother.
At 40 years old, CBS News producer Wendy McNeil gave birth to her daughter Harlow. A lifelong dream so important to her that she chose to have the baby on her own.
I said to myself, in 15 to 20 years, would I be more upset that I didn't have a kid or more upset that I didn't fall in love and get married? And I was like, if I didn't have a kid, for me, I feel like my life wouldn't be as fulfilled.
Wow. That is eye-opening.
She picked a donor and went through 3 rounds of fertility treatments. Holding Harlow in her arms is a reminder she made the right choice.
Even when she's like, even when she's like this and gets a little fussy, I'm grateful that like she made me a mother and that like I got this opportunity.
Baby Harlow, she can decide if she wants to know who her donor is when she turns 18.
This is like playing God. You get to choose who your donor is, the characteristics that you want your child to have, and then you impregnate yourself. These women are playing God.
I know.
Until then, McNeil is prepared to tell her daughter how she got here.
I'm always going to be open and honest and transparent. You know, she doesn't have a dad, she has a donor. I had her on my own.
She never closed the door on finding love, just opened the one that led her to baby Harlow first.
So now you can still do that, but you have fulfilled the dream, the want, the desire to be a mom.
Yeah, and I can do it on my own terms.
There you have it. Do it on my own terms. In the last days, in 2 Timothy chapter 3, it talks about how people will be lovers of themselves, If you don't believe the word of God is true, if you don't believe that God is real, if you don't believe the Bible is the word of God, then just look at the things that are playing out in society, in the world around us, in light of the word of God. The simple fact that over 2,000 years ago almost, the Apostle Paul wrote to his son in the gospel, Timothy, that in the last days, people will be forbidding to marry. And what do you see now? People are not getting married, but instead they're having children on their own. They are being single moms by choice. That is demonic. That is deceptive. That is delusional. That is arrogance. That is narcissism. That is the destruction of the family, in particular, the degradation of the community, the black community, the destruction of the black family, and the disregard for the purpose of men in this society, and the disregard for biblical marriage in this society. All they're doing to their children, I don't care what kind of happy face they put on, they're only going to choose people that are quote unquote happy with this situation. They're not going to tell you the horror stories behind it, because at the end of the day, a child raised without two parents in the home is more apt, more susceptible to being a victim. We're not victims. We are empowered for greatness.